In the quaint town of Freudenberg, Germany, on the evening of March 11th, 2023, a horrific crime took place that stunned a nation. The brutality of the act was only surpassed by the identity of the perpetrators, two schoolgirls aged 12 and 13 years old. The victim was their own classmate, who is only known as Louisa, and the killing was executed in cold blood. But what could have driven these girls to commit a horrific act of violence? Before we start, if you find this video fascinating, then at the end, please drop it a like and let me know what you thought about the case. It helps the channel. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Thank you. The victim can only be referred to as Louisa, and the two assailants cannot be named for legal reasons. The gruesome murder of Louisa in Freudenberg has taken a chilling turn with the emergence of a disturbing TikTok video featuring both Louisa and one of her killers. The video shows the girls drinking iced tea together and laughing, seemingly without a care in the world. The fact that the video was posted just hours before Louisa's lifeless body was discovered adds an extra layer of horror to an already shocking crime. But what makes this video even more sinister is that both girls are wearing face masks, suggesting the video was filmed during the COVID pandemic. Was this a calculated and twisted taunt to Louisa or the authorities? The motives behind this video remain unclear. The 13 and 12-year-old girls were not strangers to Louisa. In fact, the older girl and Louisa were well acquainted, as they were in the same class and even shared a daily bus ride to school. The younger girl also attended the same school, making it clear that this was no random act of violence. The details surrounding the murder continue to emerge, and they paint a harrowing picture of events leading up to Louisa's death. According to reports, Louisa's parents reported her missing when she failed to return home after she slept over on the Friday to the Saturday at the 13-year-old girl's home. It is believed that the younger girl joined them, and the trio were last seen walking into nearby woods by neighbours. It appears that the two girls lured her to her death through a disused railway tunnel close to the woods, where her lifeless body was eventually discovered. Interestingly, the 12-year-old girl claims to have been forced to assist in the killing by her older accomplice. According to reports, the girls placed a plastic bag over Louisa's head, and the older girl reportedly instructed the younger girl to hit her with a stone or she would be lying next to her. The true horror of the situation was made clear when the police revealed that Louisa had been stabbed 32 times with a nail file before being thrown down a steep embankment and left for dead in freezing temperatures. Tragically, Louisa died from blood loss from her many wounds. The two suspects returned to the 13-year-old's house, where the younger girl was picked up by her father. The older girl then called Louisa's parents, telling them that she had just started to make her way home at 5:30 p.m. and that she wanted Louisa to call her to let her know when she arrived safely. The sheer callousness and lack of remorse displayed by the older girl is difficult to comprehend. Not only did she play a leading role in Louisa's murder, but she also had the audacity to lie to the girl's parents in the aftermath of the crime. After Louisa obviously did not call the 13-year-old, the girl called Louisa's phone multiple times, claiming that she was worried about her friend. This cold and calculated behaviour, whilst she knew where Louisa truly was, stabbed and left to die in the woods, is a horrifying display of darkness that can exist even in the youngest members of our society. The disappearance of Louisa in Freudenberg triggered a frantic search operation that saw the community come together in a desperate effort to find her. The search featured a helicopter, sniffer dogs, drones, as the town's 18,000 residents scoured the area for any sign of the missing schoolgirl. Louisa had last been seen by a neighbour entering the forest with the two girls, so they were both quickly taken into questioning. When Louisa's lifeless body was eventually found the next day, less than a mile from her home, dumped near a cycling lane, her body had been brutalised. The shock and the horror that swept through the small town was palpable. The brutality of the crime, the fact that it was allegedly committed by two young schoolgirls, left everybody in the community reeling. The day Louisa's body was found, the older girl posted a dance routine to her TikTok, featuring both herself and the younger accomplice. The shameless pair also posted a video the day before, pleading for help to find Louisa after she had been missing since 5 p.m, knowing exactly where the schoolgirl's body would be found, and also whilst being questioned by the police about the disappearance. How can they be so cold at such a young age? With their dance routines and pleas for help, the comments section became inundated with messages of disbelief and outrage. One comment read, "I can't believe you're posting a dance video the day after the murder," whilst others said, "How can you do this? I can't believe this." Another classmate added, "When your chair in the classroom was empty this morning, we all knew what was going on." However, there has also been criticism of the police's handling of the situation, with some questioning why the 13-year-old suspect was allowed to remain active on TikTok, allowing users to watch her videos and read the comments. Police said that under questioning, the two girls started to make contradictory statements, and both had confessed on the Monday. Louisa had been friends with her killers before falling out with them. According to some of their classmates, an unnamed boy had caused a rift between the girls, who were supposedly best friends, leading to tensions and ultimately the tragic events that unfolded. It has been reported that the 13-year-old suspect was bullying Louisa for months after their friendship fell apart, with Louisa eventually confiding in her teachers about the situation. It is believed that this confession may have been the trigger for the violent and senseless revenge attack that followed. Following the discovery of Louisa's body and the thorough investigation by the authorities, the two suspects in the case made statements about the matter and ultimately admitted to the crime. Despite this admission, due to their age, the girls have been taken into the custody of a youth welfare office instead of being placed in a cell. The age of criminal responsibility in Germany is 14, which means that the two girls are currently below the age limit for criminal charges to be filed against them. This has raised questions about how justice will be served in this case. However, reports suggest that a civil court may order the suspects to pay compensation to Louisa's family if it is found out that they knew they were doing something harmful. Under this arrangement, the girls would be expected to make repayments as soon as they have jobs, and these repayments could last as long as 30 years, taken straight from their salaries. Whilst this may provide some measure of justice for Louisa's family, there also has been calls for the suspects to face charges despite their ages. Germany's Justice Minister, Marco Buschmann, has reassured the public that serious crimes such as this cannot go unpunished, and that while children under the age of 14 are not prosecuted, the legal system has measures in place to react to serious acts of violence by children. The girls' parents have gone into hiding for their own protection, and they have been informed that the girls may need to have new identification upon their release. The shock and horror of this senseless act have also revived memories of other cases, including the 1993 murder of James Bulger in England. Like Louisa, James was a victim of a brutal and senseless crime, abducted and tortured by two 10-year-old boys before being killed. There have always been issues, even to this day, on how to deal correctly with the perpetrators. There seems no good solution. Louisa's school replaced its homepage with a message of condolence. It reads, "We lost our pupil, classmate and friend Louisa at the weekend. Far too early, she was violently torn from our midst and from her family. Our thoughts and wishes are with her family and friends now and in the coming days." Louisa's parents have also paid tribute to their daughter in their local newspaper. There are no words to conceive of the inconceivable. For us, the world stands still. You can't see sorrow, you can't hear it, you can only feel it, they said. The murder of Louisa has had a profound impact on the community and beyond, with tributes pouring in for the young schoolgirl. Friends, family and locals have been visiting a makeshift shrine set up in her memory, offering condolences and paying their respects. Cases like these tragically live long in the memory. That's the end of this episode. Until next time, stay sane.